Hello, welcome to another SHUMPCAST. I'm Tony Shump, Ralph Nardello.
And I'm Dominic Antonio Zapata.
And this is the Melbourne Cup edition.
Melbourne Cup edition, my God.
2021 there.
And who we got on the show, Tony?
It's Joe Agresta, is it?
Joey Agresta, bloody legend. Agresta, Joey
Make sure we
Agresta.
get it spelled out right, yes.
He's right track work for Bart Cummings.
Wow.
Anyway, mate, you know, Bougie Up, you know that butt plucking store? I don't know what it it's like a beauty store in Maribyrnong.
What's got to do with the Melbourne Cup?
Well, not much, but this lady, Georgia, she's the proprietor of the shop.
Yeah.
She brought me some of this cream. I'm not sure if it's for your eyes, the black under my eyes, or it's a brown eye. You know, I don't know. You know how they do the...
I think it goes under the eye. Under the eye.
No, I don't know, because it's good for me black eye, but I think, look at me, look. I didn't put it on there.
You didn't put it on your rectum, did you? Oh, my God.
No, that's a bleach. That's what they do. Now check and see if it's gone bright.
I can't even see it. That is crazy.
Oh my God!
Okay.
What are you looking at me ass for?
You've got video.
So is it for the eye or for the that eye?
I think it's.
Anyway, get down to Boogie, to the Boogie Up and get your butt lifts. You need a butt lift? Anyway, all right, so straight off.
That's amazing. I think we have to cut that out.
Yeah, no, cut that out.
All right, so Joey Agresta on the show today.
Yes. Without further ado. Are you going to put him on?
Let's go.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is SHUMPCAST, the Melbourne Cup edition.
Yes.
And on the line, we have got, mate, Bart Cummings' right-hand man, mate. This guy helped Bart train 5 Melbourne Cup winners. Joey Agresta, ladies and gentlemen, give him a big hand, Joey Agresta. Now, Joey Agresta, are you on the line, mate?
I am. How you going, guys?
Oh, we're very good. And we'd like to thank you first for appearing on our Melbourne Cup show because you're a bloody legend. And the first question, when did it all start, Joe? How did you become a freak of nature?
Oh, I'm not a freak of nature, but it all started. We moved from New South Wales when I was 7 years old. We moved to Ascot Vale. And we're living in Rosebery Street.
Rosebery Street?
Rosebery Street, Ascot Vale, off Union Road.
Yeah.
And a lot of trainers, like a lot of people had racehorses in their backyard and had stables in their backyard. And they used to train them from their backyard. And all the trainers used to walk their horses around the streets.
Yeah.
And one day I come running out. I remember I was only 7 or 8, and I come running out, and there was this big giant of a horse that I thought was a giant of a horse. They were eating our grass at the front. Yeah,
at the front of your house.
Oh. At the front of our house.
Yeah.
And I said to the guy, "What's that?" He goes, "It's the racehorse." I go, "What's that?" He says, "It's the racehorse." And I followed into the stable.
Yeah.
And then a couple of years later, I just started hanging around the stables all the time, and I just got hooked. And then I started at a very early age going down to the track and learn how to ride and track work, and it's just them from there.
So how old were you when you went there to train?
I think I was about 12 years old when I started.
12.
Started riding racehorses, and when they were teaching me how to ride.
Yeah. And
then I started riding track work, when I was about 14 and a half, 15.
And what, did you become a jockey? What happened?
No, what happened, I was no good at school. I got expelled from 2 schools, and the first school I got expelled from, I thought that if I go home and tell my dad I got expelled, he's going to kill me, you know.
Was that St Mary's?
That's when I was at Midway Tech.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what did you get expelled for?
I went home and I said to my dad, Dad, the headmaster told me if I wanted to be a school teacher, I have to go to another school. He goes, "Oh, that's very good, son. You go to the other school and you learn to be a school teacher." So and I got out of that and I ended up going to Flemington High, which was, Flemington High was just on the race course, actually.
Yeah, next door to the show.
You know, at the members started the members drive, you know.
Yeah.
And I used to go down the track and I'll be walking the horses home. While all the kids are going into school and the teacher's going into school, and the teacher would say, "Giuseppe, you better not be late for school." I said, "I won't. And I'd never turn up. So I ended up getting expelled from there, and then, I just started working full-time at the stables, and I ended up getting a B-grade licence, which is just a licence where you can only ride up the bush. I didn't have any experience.
Yeah.
And I had 15 rides, and I rode 5 seconds. I didn't ride a winner, so...
That's all right.
Oh. And what did you get expelled for, Joe, from school? What was that for?
Oh, I can't tell you.
No, there's nobody listening, mate. We've only got about 5 listeners.
Yeah, we can beat that out if you want. We can
what did
beat
you get
that
expelled for? Come on.
Nah.
Well, what happened, me and my best mate, which is still my best mate today, we both got expelled together. We, the girls were changing for sport. And I got him to leg me up to have a look, in the window.
Stuff little boys do.
And all the girls were screaming and yelling. And a few girls said, "Don't worry, that's only Joey." So, yeah. So then I got docked in, and we both got kicked out of school. So, yeah.
So you were only a teenager.
Nothing bad.
Yeah. So Tony still does it. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, he's a shocker.
Yeah, I still do it, yeah. So you went on from there. So when did you actually start getting more serious with the horses there, with Bart Cummings and stuff? Is that a bit later on, or?
Well, I was riding freelance, like just for anyone that wanted someone to ride their horse track work, and I was doing it for nothing. And what happened was, one of my friends was working for Bart Cummings, and he said to me, he said, "Joey," he said, "they're looking for a good track rider." He said, "You want to come over and work with us?" I said, "No." I said, "I don't want to come." And he goes, "Why not?" He said, "He pays well, He said, "You'll get nothing." Anyway, I really, I was shitting myself to go and work for Bart Cummings. I thought, you know what? I'm going to ride 1 or 2 horses, and he's going to tell me to nick off, So about 3 days later, my friend said, he said, "Oh, you're coming over?" I said, "No, I'm not coming." And he said, "Why not?" I said, "I don't want to come." I didn't tell him why I didn't want to go. I just thought I was nowhere near good enough. And about 3 or 4 days after that, I think it was about a Thursday morning, he said, "I told him the boss you're starting on Monday." He said, he said, "Don't let me down." And I thought to myself, "Oh, bugger it." I said, "I'll go there." I said, "I'll probably last a week, 2 weeks, and he'll give me the arse, and that'll be the end of it." So, anyway, that was in January 1980, and I was still there in 2014.
Shit, how long was that?
That was 34 years.
34 years.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And in that 34 years, how many Melbourne Cup winners did you help Bart win?
5. 5. I actually his last 5 Melbourne Cup winners.
Yeah.
I rode the whole lot of them in all their work for 3 months, except for Saintly, because I rode Saintly most of the time when he was in Melbourne, but every now and again Darren Beaman would come down and he'd have a ride on him. Kingston Rule, I rode him in all his track work, and he won in 1990. Lecture Lope in 91, Saintly in 96, and then I rode Viewed in Roving Josh in 99.
Yeah.
And Viewed in I think it was 2006. But Roving Josh you know what, we had that many horses, and I don't even know how I got kind of stuck with these. It's just like a freak of nature how you just, how did I ride all just these horses work? And they won 5 Melbourne Cups, but it never really hit me until it was all over. And a guy, Joe McGrath from the VRC, asked me once, he said, "Oh, you want to come on the Melbourne Cup tour?" I said, what do you want me to come for? I said, and he goes, "Well," he said, "didn't you ride all them horses in leading up to the Cups?" I said, "Yeah, I did." He goes, "No one's ever done in their life, and no one will ever do that again." So I started doing that too, helping the VRC.
So, Joe, what did you have to do? Did Bart give you instructions to work the horses? Did you have to make them lose weight? What did you have to do?
No. What happens is you're there, and look, it's all the glitz and glamour of that the normal people see in the last 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
But we start at the start of winter.
Yeah.
And we're up every morning at 4 o'clock, and you've got to ride all these horses. Doesn't matter if it's raining, hail, shine, whatever. You've got to be there and you've got to work them. And what you do is you build them up.
Yeah.
And like Bart being in Sydney, every night he'd send a fax through to the foreman.
Yeah.
And of the list of what he wanted the horses to do.
Yeah.
You know, and then we just go. The foreman tells us, look, you go and do this, go and do that, go and do that, and you know, we have to do exactly what they say. And you know, sometimes you've got to go. You know, like when you start getting fit and getting ready for the longer races, you've got to work over a mile and a quarter, which is 2,000 metres. You know.
Yeah.
And he might say to you, look, I want you to go 2,000 metres evens, and you've got to be precisely, exactly 15 seconds to the furlong.
Shit.
Right?
Yeah.
15, you know, and you've got to, doesn't matter if a horse is going too slow, doesn't want to go, or if he's pulling too hard, and you've got to control all that, and plus you've got to control your head and count, and you've got to count 15 seconds to the furlong, and over the 2,000 metres, if you're 2 seconds out, you know, they take it off because, you know, that's equivalent of 6 or 8 lengths, you know.
Ah, yeah.
And some of the jockeys you worked with, Roy Higgins, Harry White.
Henry Carey.
Yeah. What were they like to work with? They won quite a few Melbourne Cups, didn't they?
Oh, Harry was, like, he was so funny. You know, like, he ended up, he bought a farm one day, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking on a Thursday morning, because they always, Roy Higgins, Harry White, and a guy called Bobby Ball, they, on Thursday mornings after the gallops, they stand around and talk about the horses that are racing on the Saturday, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, they come up and they said, oh, Harry, you bought a farm. And he goes, yeah. He said, oh, I bought it about a month ago. He said, I went the other day to the sales and I bought some cattle. And Roy Higgins goes, what kind of cattle did you buy? And he goes, oh, I don't know, mate. He goes, they were them chestnuts with the baldy faces. he didn't know what he bought. He was talking in horse terms.
Yeah, because I thought, where's he going with this? To cattle? I thought he was talking about horses, but we were.
Yeah.
So what was it like winning the Melbourne Cup? I mean, you know, it's just amazing. It's just, they just go bananas.
It's amazing. Look, it's hard to put into words. It's just an amazing experience. And look, people play like it's like an AFL footballer winning a premiership. That's how like. I mean, it's harder to win a Melbourne Cup than it is to win a premiership. You know?
Yeah. Exactly.
But look, we're fortunate. It's a real great experience, and you know, like, and you don't realise how many people want to talk to you and know you after you get involved in a Melbourne Cup. You know? When I was involved with Kingston Rural, I started to get people who wanted to interview me and what happened and how did you do this and how did you do that, and then you know, the next year we won it with Let's Alone. You know, and I wrote her in all the work, and then, you know, it's been from there. And, and then we went from, like, the Cups to the Cox Plates, Caulfield Cups and all that. And it's just amazing. Look, it's an amazing experience, and it's hard to really explain until you're really in there with it.
Yeah. So you won a Cox Plate too?
Oh, we've won about 4 Cox Plates while I was there. Won 2 was So You Think.
Yeah.
One was Stately.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one was Dane Ripper, and so we won 4 while I was there.
Now I heard an interview with you speaking about Rogan Josh. Now you were saying that Rogan Josh wasn't really much of a horse until Bart got a hold of it and turned it into a weight for age horse. Is that true?
That's 100%, mate. Look, I'll take it to my grave.
Yeah.
There was no trainer in the world that would have won a Melbourne Cup with that horse, bar Bart Cummings. And that's only because of the work that he did with the horse.
Yeah.
And no other trainer would have given him that much work. And he got that horse that fit.
Yeah.
That he turned him into a weight for age horse. And I'll tell you, he wasn't even a weight for age horse, and he won a McKinnon Stakes.
Shit.
You know? That's how fit Bart had him. Yeah. You know? And the only reason he won the Melbourne Cup is because he was like 110% fit. You know?
Yeah. So Rogan Josh, was that an Indian horse from India?
No.
He's trying to be funny. Sorry, Joe. I forgot to tell you.
I love Rogan Josh. My favourite Indian
I forgot to tell you he was an up-and-coming comedian.
Many years ago,
In his own,
okay, yeah. Well, you know about Rogan Josh. He got beaten a lot of races in the back tracks of Perth, you know?
Yeah.
And anyone that had any doubts about Bart being a great trainer, and people say that he had all the good horses to train. Well, this horse was only an ordinary horse, and he got this ordinary horse to win a Melbourne Cup and a McKinnon Stakes. And then he went over to Hong Kong and I think he ran fourth in the Hong Kong bars.
Oh, shit.
So, working with Bart Cummings, just such a legend. What was he like? I suppose you got...
Look, he was a really good man. He was good to me. He was pretty shy, people didn't really understand him, and he was pretty shy, and he always accepted what life dished up to him. He never complained about anything. He always told me, not to worry about things that you have no control over.
Yeah.
And the best times I had with him was like even me and my wife Lorraine. We'd just have dinner with him sometimes and just have a red wine and a chat, and whenever he spoke about horses, and he's a very, very intelligent person. I always say he could have been the Prime Minister of Australia. He was that smart,
Hey, what did you have? Just out of curiosity, what would you eat at Bart Cummings' house? What would you have for dinner?
Oh, we didn't eat at his place. The only time I went to his place was at his 80th birthday in Sydney. They flew us to Sydney. Okay. But every time he come here, we'd go go to Crown Casino. All the good restaurants in Crown. Yeah. And they have nothing but the best. Yeah. The best wine. To me, he used to drink the $200 and $350 bottles of wine.
Same me and Dom. Yeah,
same as us. Yeah,
we do. Go on. And I said to him, he goes, have a drink of this. He said, I don't like it. I don't like red wine, Bart. He goes, try it. Anyway, I tried it, and I go, gee, that's nice. He goes, I told you. He said, don't say you don't like something unless you try it. Anyway, I tried it anyway. I think it was about $450 a bottle. Anyway, when we got out that night, I said to the mate, my foreman, Reg Fleming, I said, that tasted like poison.
So you only just said you liked it?
Yeah.
If I liked it, and he goes, see, I told you like it. And I said to Reg, I said, that tasted like poison. I've tasted. I've had bottles of wine that are $4 or $5 that tasted better than that,
Che cazzo Italiano are you?
I'd say I'm not a wine connoisseur.
Yeah, but mate, you're Italian. You should love the wine. Mate, my old man used to make it. Didn't your old man used to make the wine?
Yeah, they all used to all the guys, all the old fellas used to compete. Mine's better than his.
Yeah.
I used to taste it. It used to taste like vinegar.
Yeah, and we used to make vinegar too. We'd use some of that for our salata. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Now, Joe, just going back to Bart Cummings, what do you think his secret was?
He loved Bart Cummings, Joe. Sorry, mate. Go on.
What was his secret?
Thousands of people asked me what his secret was. You know what his secret was? There was no secret. You could watch his horses. Yeah. And you could watch what he'd do with his horses. Yeah. And what I say is, no trainer in the world would do what he did with his horses. And Gay Waterhouse said to me after Rope and Josh won, she said, Joe, how does he do it? I said, Gay, I'll tell you, I said, no trainer in the world would do what he did. And just a quick one, when I was riding, when Rope and Josh won the McKinnon on the Saturday, we galloped him on the Monday, which is 2 days later. Yeah. On the Monday, and a day before the Melbourne Cup. So Bart galloped him over a mile, right? And it's unheard of. People don't do it. Well, Bart did it all the time. Anyway, one of the foremans of the leading stable, he said that I heard him saying to the track man, he goes, "You see what them blokes do with that horse?" He goes, "They're effing idiots. They're crazy." Yeah. Anyway, after I did my work and I pulled up and I come back and I said to Jack Franklin, he was the guy that was guarding the track there, Yeah. I said, "Hey Jack," I said, "we'll see who has the last laugh, eh?" He goes, "Exactly, mate, exactly, right?" And Rope and Josh won, you know. Yeah. But these other guys, these other trainers don't do it. They don't put in the hard yards with the horses. They're too bright and they wrap them up in cotton wool. Yeah. Bart never ever did that. Never.
So is he the only one that used to do that? Because, I mean, that sounds crazy. It wins the McKinnon Stakes and then a couple of days later you give him a run and then it runs on the Tuesday. Is that unheard of?
Well, I'll tell you what happened with Kingston Rule.
Yeah.
I galloped him on the Tuesday. Bart come down to watch him work and hadn't seen him for about 3 months, and I galloped him on the Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Before the Moonee Valley Cup.
Yeah.
Anyway, I galloped him and I was thrilled. I thought, oh, this horse is absolutely flying. He's 100% fit, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I come back and Bart goes and said, oh, what'd you make of that, son? I said, Bart, I said, he was shitting on Saturday. And he goes, what? I said, he was shitting on Saturday. And he looked at the horse and he said, this horse is too fat. and Leon Forces, the foreman, said, I told you, Bart. He said, he doesn't do enough on him. He said, I keep telling him to go quicker and he won't do enough on him. And I said, I can't go any quicker because there was a track called the Wood Chip and he used to move around a lot on it, you know,
yeah.
and he didn't like it. So I used to hold him together and run a couple of seconds slower all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I said to him, I go, look, I don't care what you think. I said, I reckon you'll win anyway, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I turned around to walk away and Bart goes, he said, don't be like that, son. He said, come back here. So I had to turn around and go back and face him.
Yeah.
He said, I'll tell you what I'll do with you, son. He said, if this horse wins on Saturday, he said, we'll improve him 10 lengths come Cup Day, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I said, okay. So I turned around, I'm walking away, I'm thinking, silly old bastard. I said, how's he going to improve this horse 10 lengths? I said, we've got him 100% fit as it is, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, he wins the Moonee Valley Cup. That was fine. I thought, I got the monkey off my back because I told him he'd win, right?
Yeah.
So that was on the Saturday. The following Saturday, he runs on Derby Day the 2,500 metre race.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're in the mountain yard and Bart goes to me, he said, what do you reckon, son? I said, about what? He goes, do you think he can win? I said, if you want him to. He goes, what do you mean if we want him to, you idiot? He said, of course we want to win. So I went over and listened to him telling Darren Beedman what to do, and he told Darren Beedman, he said, listen, he said, just ride him out the back, ride him really cold. He said, if you're going to hit him like you're going to hit me. In other words, don't hit him at all.
Yeah, yeah.
And he said, if you can win under his own steam, you do it. If you don't, he said, don't worry about it. Anyway, the horse flashed home and run second and Mount Olympus.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That was on the Saturday.
Yeah.
So Sunday I worked him.
Yeah.
The Monday, which was 2 days after that race,
Yeah.
I was trotting him around and I thought, I said, he's going to gallop him. I thought, I'm going to try and tell him not to gallop him, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And I trotted him around. I trotted him around for about 5 minutes and then went up and he said, how does he feel, Joe? I said, I reckon he stopped the run on Saturday, Bart. I said, I wouldn't do too much with him. He said, he goes, go a mile home too and look after him. You know, like he could see straight through me. You know what happened?
Yeah.
Anyway, I went a mile home too.
Yeah.
The next morning, Cup morning, he galloped him over 400 metres.
Yeah.
Right? And the horse still holds the record today. Right?
What? He's got the fastest time?
He still holds the track record today, right? The fastest time ever run.
Yeah.
And the next morning, I saw Bart and he goes to me, he said, you let that be a lesson to your son. He said, if they can't handle the work we give them, he said they can't win this race.
Yeah,
you know? And he was right, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I understand.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Okay, someone said, I'm not sure I understand.
That's my phone. I don't know what it is.
Have you got a girlfriend now? I thought you said you were married to Lorraine. What's going on,
No,
Joe?
No, Lorraine's here.
Okay. Hi, Lorraine. How you going? Hey. Hey, and then Lorraine's probably been your rock, hasn't she?
Mate, I'll tell you what, without her, I'd be nothing. Like, you know, I've been with horses all my life.
Yeah.
Gone to the races, gone away for weekends with horses, gone away for the week with horses. When I used to ride quarter horses, I used to go away every weekend to, you know, Adelaide, Sydney, Dubbo, all them places, and never ever whinged once, you know, never. So, you know, I mean, without her, I wouldn't have been where I am now, you know.
Well, Joe, they say behind every great man there's a more stupendous woman.
Oh,
that's right.
That's
yeah,
true.
100%.
Yeah.
We've been married for 49 years.
49 years!
wow, nearly as old as me.
Yeah,
I know.
4 life sentences I've served.
Yeah. And you've got, I know Scotty, but you've got any other kids? You got another girl, yeah?
Yeah, I've got Rachel, who's 2 years younger than Scotty, and then I've got Glenn, he's nearly 40.
Okay.
So, yeah, and the two boys are mad gamblers and drinkers and punters, and Rachel and Rain don't know anything about horses, and they don't care about it.
Yeah, but didn't you bring Scotty down to the track, and didn't he want to be a jockey at one stage?
Yeah, he did actually. You know what?
What?
He come down. He said he'd never ridden a horse. He'd ridden a little Shetland pony, and then he come down. He wanted to be a jockey, and
yeah.
We put him straight on a racehorse. Anyway, he used to ride Sheba's Revenge work. I don't know if you remember Sheba's Revenge. He ran second in the Caulfield and Melbourne Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ran second in the Melbourne Cup to Let's Open, and then he ran second to Let's Open the Australian Cup, and Scotty was riding work. So yeah, but Scotty got too big, as you know.
yeah, he put on a bit of beef.
Now, Joe, you wrote a book a few years back.
We want to plug your book.
My life with my life with Bart Cummings.
Yeah, what you do is I'll get your address and I'll send it to you.
He's going to
really?
send us a book, yeah. We're going to give Scotty our address, and he's going to send us a book.
Number. No, I'll give my address over the phone.
Yeah.
No, actually,
I'll call you later. We'll call you later.
Yeah, no, we're going to... tell us a bit about the book,
Yeah, tell us about the book.
How did it come about, the book?
Oh, well, I was... I got to be really good friends with a Malaysian, one of Bart's Malaysian owners. His name was Chai Kaur. Anyway, I rode a lot of horses for him, and in the finish he wanted me to ride all his horses and let him know how they're going.
Yeah.
And every time he come down from the carnival from Malaysia, he'd come down for the spring carnival, and he'd take Lorraine and myself out for dinner, and he'd always want to talk about horses, and he'd say, he said, this horse went all right. And I go, I'll tell you a story about this horse, and I'll tell you a story about this other horse. And after about 4 years, he said to me, listen, he said, you've got to write a book. And I said, I got kicked out of 2 schools. I left school when I was 14. I said, how can I write a book? I said, I don't even read. He goes, no. He said, all these stories you've got to put into a book before you lose your senses. So he organised it, him and his daughter, Sue Ann.
Yeah.
They organised a guy to come and see me.
Yeah.
And, basically that it started from there. And it took about 4 years because the first guy I had to sack him because he wanted to put a lot of bullshit in there. And I just wanted to...
Yeah,
I wanted
true.
to be honest.
Yeah.
What you read in the book is probably 99% true.
Yeah.
Right.
And he wanted to put a lot of rubbish in there and a lot of, make it all blasé.
Yeah.
I went to Les Carline. I don't know if you remember Les Carline, and I said, Les, can you read this and tell me what you think? And he said, look, Joe, it's not you. If it's no good, you don't do it. So I was going to stop. I was going to not do it.
Yeah.
And then somebody from the ABC come and saw me, and they read it, and they said, look, this is not you. Fix it up, and it'll be a really good book. So, and that's what I did. So. When you read it, what you read is probably 99% true.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, the 1% is I might have missed something.
Yeah. No, you're a man of great integrity, and this other bloke wanted to sensationalise it. Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, he wanted to, a lot of crap. He wanted to put a lot of crap in there, and I didn't want that. And I just said to him, I said, I don't want to bag anybody.
Yeah.
I said, number one.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't want any rubbish in there. Right?
Yeah.
And he said, no worries. And then when I read it, I thought, Lorraine read it, she was nearly crying. She goes, this is not you. You don't talk like that.
Yeah.
And so it took me another 2 years to get it right, But everyone that's read it said they loved it. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
Well, I'm going to give Scotty our addresses. I'm going to get a copy and we're going to read it. But, Joe, because we're running out of time, can I ask you a question? Now,
Yes?
Now, I used to hang around with this little kid. I used to play footy with Pat Burrow when I was a kid, and he used to always tell me, he goes, that Joe Agresta, he rides quarter horses, because I've seen some quarter horses, and are they quicker than the race horses? What's the go with them?
Yeah, they are. Look, it's run exactly like you have the colours, the jockeys, everything's exactly the same as races, only they race over, the furthest they race over is 700 metres.
Okay.
That's the furthest You know, otherwise they're, you know, like 400 metres, 365 metres, 400, 600, 700 metres. And I took up quarter horse riding because I was too heavy, and the quarter horses had 57 plus. You know, like they could go up to 63, which was beautiful. Yeah. Anyway, I ended up. I started riding it. Started riding them, and then I ended up teaming up with a guy in Seymour. Yeah. And I went away with him. My first season, I went away with him. I went to a place called Forbes, and I ended up picking up this ride. And it drew barrier 1. It was 600 metre race, and it had 111 beside it. I thought, how could I pick this ride up? It's won 4 in a row. Anyway, what happened is there was 3 or 4 other guys from New South Wales that were riding, and they drew outside me, and their horses were a bit quicker. Yeah. And when we got to the bend, they chopped me out, and I was screaming out, hey, 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 hey. And anyway, when we pulled up, they said, if you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen, right? Yeah. They nearly put me over the rail. Anyway, I said, okay, no worries. Anyway, the next 10 years, mate, I taught them a lesson.
Yeah. What did you do? What did you do?
Well, I used to knock them down and knock them over. And they
good on you!
I said, anyway, I ended up being leading rider in Victoria for 7 of the 10 years, and I was leading Australian rider for 3 or 4 years, if I can't remember, and won all the big races, you know. Like the biggest race was about 60,000, you know, but in them days it was really good. I had a good time, good living. So I turned out to be all right. I wanted to be a good jockey, but I was a good quarter horse jockey.
Well, that's the same thing, mate.
Yeah.
Now, Joe, the book there. So where can people buy the book? Is it online or bookshop?
Just give Scotty your names and addresses, both of you, right? And I'll leave the rest to me, all right?
Yeah, but if other people want to buy it, where do they go?
You're just on Facebook. Yeah. Lorraine. Look, it's a long story.
So just online, is it?
I had a guy that published it, you know, and I got in a lot of trouble with him, and he didn't do anything. He didn't want to push it, didn't do anything. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's the same to Brian Martin and a couple of other guys, you know. Yeah. But anyway.
Well, mate, if anybody wants a copy of this book, just get a hold of us. Yeah. Give us an email, and I'll chase it up with Scotty or yourself.
It'll be on your Facebook page.
Even just by email, just lcagresta@yahoo.com.au.
Beautiful.
And it's called Track Rider, My Life with Bart Cummings. Is that correct?
Yeah, My Life with Bart.
Fantastic.
Well, Joe, thank you very much, and thank Lorraine in the background, and thanks Scotty in that too, because he got us your great interview. And I'd just like to wish you all the best in the future, and we're probably happy to have you on again very soon, okay?
No worries. Thanks, boys. Thanks a lot. Great
no worries, Joe.
Now, do you want to say anything to anybody before we go? Because we're going to give you a big hand.
No, not really, no.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, champion jockey, Joey Agresta! Thanks, Joe. We'll give you another call, buddy. Is that you, Werribee Whisperer?
Dude.
Hello.
Who is it?
It's Dominic Antonio Sorbara and Tony Shump from SHUMPCAST.
Is that you, the Werribee Whisperer?
1, 2, 3, 4.
What? Yeah, no, I know. We're going to be really quick. We just want a
1, 2, 3, 4. You haven't said the code. No code, no talking.
All right, 8, 12, 62.
Someone's got a big shoe.
And I had one too.
Well done, Don. What's going on?
How are you, buddy?
Well.
Are you good? No, Ralph. All right.
He must have a joke this time. He's had 8 weeks to get a joke. Has he got one yet?
Yeah, he's got one.
These are your tips for the Melbourne Cup, are they?
Tell him a joke, quick.
I don't know any jokes. I know stories.
We'll make something up.
Yeah.
Quick.
About what?
Anything. Funny
about
story.
The Melbourne Cup?
Yes, funny story about the Melbourne Cup. Quick, hurry up.
Ralph again. No joke, Ralphie.
No, when I used to work at the Melbourne Cup, I used to sell newspapers. You know, the Herald Sun, right? And I used to make a lot of money.
Flemington Racecourse too. 1975, I was there when the Great Flood was on, when Vanderham won.
Vanderham!
Oh, Vanderham!
Oh, well done.
That was the year I worked there selling the Herald Sun, and I sold my Herald hat, son. You know the hat for the Herald Sun. I got $18 for it. $18, a lot of money back then.
$18 for it. Anyway.
Yeah. What we used to do, bud, is go and steal other paper boys' papers and then sell more for yourself.
Yeah.
What, you just, that's terrible.
That's terrible.
What about the poor little
Everyone done it.
kids?
That was the rule. You had to be quick because they dropped them off at your location.
Yep.
And if you weren't there, they'd come and pinch your papers.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
where are you now, Werribee Whisperer? Where are
Don't
you?
give that information.
That's why I'm living in Werribee.
Hey, Werribee Whisperer, can you give us 2 horses, please, for the Melbourne
I'm
Cup?
told you now.
All right,
There's
go.
only one tip, okay?
Yeah.
That's Spanish Mission.
Spanish Mission, yeah?
Told you that. He's here. He's down at Werribee. He's eating all the beautiful Werribee grass.
Yep.
Doing some beautiful horse poo for the gardens of Werribee.
Oh, my God, does it stink? Yeah, because Werribee smells, doesn't it? Does it still smell up in Werribee?
It's beautiful smell of horse shit.
Oh, my God. So Werribee smells like Flemington, does it? Like the track. Is
What
that...
more would you want in life?
Now, Werribee Whisperer, are
Yeah.
you going to be one of the lucky persons
bro.
to be at the Melbourne Cup? There's only 10,000
Yeah, are you going
tickets.
to be there, Werribee Whisperer?
Have you got a ticket?
No, you've got to be privileged to get telling people from Toorak and that to get in there. 10,000 tickets.
Oh, come on.
They're not going to give it to the of Werribee.
What are you trying to say? Hey, I know some beautiful people that live in Werribee. Thank you very much.
We're last in line for anything.
That's where they got the capital, the Senator
Now, the
head
Melbourne
office.
Cup, on a serious note,
All right,
my
quick.
two boys, Spanish Mission will win the cup.
Spanish Mission? What number?
Don't know. Oh, numbers ain't out yet. You won't know the numbers till Saturday night.
Oh,
Well, who's riding it?
Craig Williams.
Okay, yeah. Didn't he win last year's Melbourne Cup?
Who won last year? No, Jai McNeil, I think, won it last year.
Okay, all right. So
But,
Spanish,
I mean, it's a pretty hard race to win.
yeah.
Now, there's an up-and-coming Australian horse in the race called Intensitized.
Intensive what?
Intensitized.
Okay, yeah.
wow.
This is the new superstar of Australian racing, but
But
I don't know. He's the short price favourite to win it, but I think Spanish Mission
yeah,
will win the race.
and the Australian up and comer, what will it run a place?
I think it should, but you never know. It's a very hard race.
It is a very hard race. Well, thank you very much for that, Werribee Whisperer. How come you've lasted longer than 30 seconds? Because you said, don't the coppers or someone pick you up on the phone after about 30, 40 seconds?
The Dan Andrews card picks me up, but I've been staying away from it for a while. What I've done,
Yeah.
I've put tinfoil all over my roof,
Oh, okay, yeah, the old tin foil trick they can't get.
so they can't get through.
Yeah.
Once you've got the tinfoil, the beams and the rays can't get through with the 5G network and that.
Okay. Hey, Werribee Whisperer, I've got to wrap it up, but we gave Tom that hat, and he was very, very happy. Okay, so thank you very much for that.
Did it fit?
Yes, fits him like a glove. Like a
That was
glove.
good.
Oh, it looks awesome. He
That's
loves
good.
it. He loves it. Anyway, get off the show. Get
Yeah,
off.
get off.
Get off, quick. Run away. Werribee
All
Whisperer.
right, hang on, the fit.
Okay, see you, buddy.
Coming over the fit, help.
Bye. See ya. Later. The Melbourne Cup edition. That's gone. What a show. Tony Shumps.
Oh, fantastic.
Joey Agresta. What a man. What a man. What a man.
He worked a long time for Bart Cummings,
Mate.
34 years. It's
5 Melbourne Cup winners. People go all their life and
Oh.
they don't win one.
Yeah.
Joey had 5. 5 he helped.
amazing, man. And make sure people buy the book. Make
Yeah,
sure you buy
no,
the
make
book, the
sure.
book
I mean,
here,
Joey was awesome, but that
Oh.
bloody Werribee Whisperer, I reckon he wrecked the show in the end. Didn't you
He
reckon?
went on. Well,
I hope his tips, yeah.
I hope those tips come through.
Yeah, no, they will, they will. He used to work
I'm
down
sure
there.
we could give him a call.
He used to work at the cattle yards, you know, and then he graduated to Melbourne. Yeah, Melbourne Cup, you know, the where they train the horses. Anyway,
Oh, yeah, really?
yeah, that's true story. True story. He used to work at the cattle
Yeah,
yards.
I'm sure,
You know,
yeah,
he
I'm
shoveled
sure,
shit
yeah.
down there, and then
Okay, that's
he
a wrap.
graduated to
Yeah,
the Melbourne
I take
Cup
it. Have a
stables
break.
and
You've
shoveled
been
shit
going.
there.
You drive me banana.
Anyway.
Okay, I'm Tony Shumps, Ralph
And
Nardella.
I'm Dominic Antonio Zambara.
And we'll see you next time on
SHUMPCAST.